Newcastle Fans TV.
Talking all things pre-season and just that Nottingham Forest game. It's only 4 weeks on Saturday. It's not a million miles away. It'll just be over there. It's about a 2-minute walk from here. And it's going to be very, very exciting. New signings. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. I can't wait. Matty pre-season is very much underway. Eddie Howe's really trimming his squad at the minute. It looks like the likes of Dwight Gale, Kieran Clark, Jeff Hendrick and even Matty Longstaff being reported today not going to be involved in the first team.
Good.
It's the right decision, isn't it, really, for the majority of them at least?
It would have been the right decision about 2, 3, 4 years ago, to be honest with you. These are players that have been knocking around since the Championship days. I think Dwight Gale, Kieran Clark, brilliant servants to the club, but the time is well and truly gone. So it's good to see that we're actually going to clear out some of this deadwood, because you've got to think we've got, 32, 33 players. Got to trim down to a 25-man squad. It's got to happen. I feel sorry for Matty in a way, but I hope he gets another successful loan spell. Yeah,
very much so. I think he desperately needs that. But when you look at what Matty's saying there, Lee, 30-odd players, that's just far too many. We need to get players out the door. Is there anybody else that you'd like to see out the door?
Elliot Anderson, but only on loan. I think Eddie Howe will look at him, but will he get enough game time? Because he blew League Two wide open when he went to Joey Barton's Bristol Rovers. So I'd like to see him get maybe a championship club. You talk about the players there, how much are them picking up? Gale and Hendrick.
45 grand a week.
Yeah. Gale and Hendrick 100k. I mean, that's saving just getting rid of them out the door. There's loads, man. There's even possibly one of the goalkeepers you need rid of, Carl Darlow. Matty's already talked about a couple of players there. Fringe players. They do need a lot. It's just they're saving the wage, and it will affect eventually financial fair play.
It'd be massive, because if we can get a few players out the door, some players can come in. As we're recording right now, your mate Keith, his best mate Keith, is reporting that Anthony Gordon, Everton's Anthony Gordon, who's a little shit, let's be honest, but someone that you admire from a distance, isn't it?
It is. There's no doubt he's a young talent. He's an exciting talent. He's already shown in a very poor Everton side what he can do. I've seen a bit of discontent on Twitter because of that shithouse that some people aren't too pleased about it, but if he's our shithouse, then it's alright, isn't it?
Of course it is.
That's what Spurs fans are like Richarlison. You know, he's a diver, he's this, but then when he puts on your club shirt, you back him, don't you? So
I've always rated him, me.
I've always loved him, man. Get him in. But he is a really good young talent, Anthony Gordon. I mean, we're looking at around 35 million's being quoted. That's a high price tag for a young lad. Probably makes sense in this market. But I've seen Craig Cope as well, saying that it's unlikely to happen this summer. So I'm not sure how much Everton want to sell him, but obviously they do need the funds as well.
They do really need the funds.
I just point out he looks like Postman Pat. Picture it, just think of him now.
I'm not, to be honest, but I'll it's going to be something there now, isn't it?
Now.
But no, it's obviously been so exciting for Newcastle fans. Obviously Sven Botman Lee coming through the door, Nick Pope, Matt Target, of course, who came on loan in January.
Who we wanted,
Exactly. If you want to see that video where the others were absolutely talking rubbish, especially 40. But
someone didn't want my target.
Oh yeah,
3 of them on our channel.
40 Simon.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
are they playing? They better be playing on the match day.
The
charity match. Get stuck in.
Yeah, we'll see what the left
How
foot's
do you
like.
not want Matty Target after he spelled last season?
Who did they want again?
Lodi from Athletic.
I was like, no, man,
Really
you've got to get Matty.
Target was a sensible option, Premier League proven.
Exactly. Say voice of reason over there. No, but in all seriousness, there is obviously more players that would like to bring in. A striker seems to be very much number one on the list, and you look at Hugo Ekitike, that deal's kind of very, very quiet at the minute. But Broja from Southampton, I'm going to get Matty's perspective on it because he might have seen a little bit of Southampton last season, but from what you've seen, do you think he's someone that would do well at Newcastle if he was to sign, Lee?
I'm on the fence with it. I think a loan will be a sensible option, because if we can't splash the cash on a young, and he plays for Albania. Is it Albania? It is Albania, isn't it? But he's English, really brought up in this country, wasn't he? I don't want to see Newcastle splash 30-40 million on a striker who's had one half good season, because he started off really well and kind of faded off, didn't he? I would think a sensible option is a loan to play backup of Callum Wilson. He'll get games because Callum Wilson's injury record. I'm just not putting that kind of cash. I know we've got the cash, but let's be sensible about it. I think the sensible option would be a loan to see how he gets on, with an option a bit like Isaac Hayden's gone to Norwich, where we buy him. If we hit certain criteria, I think that's more sensible.
Broja, tell us all about him, Matty, because obviously you were living in Southampton, you would have seen a lot of him. Will he improve Newcastle quickly, or do you think because the fact that Callum Wilson, I would still say Callum Wilson is a better striker than Broja from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Do you think he can replace him in the long term, or do you think it'll be, look at what we're doing with Callum Wilson right now, look, this is what he does on a week-to-week basis for Newcastle, can you repeat that, or can you even improve on that?
You could learn a lot from Wilson at the training ground, no doubt about that, but like you said, I did see a lot of him Being living right next to St Mary's last year, went to quite a few games when Newcastle went on, and he's a bit. I mean, some games he's an animal. He's a right handful, and some games he goes missing. And I think Lee summed it up with his spell last year. The first 6 months of the season, he was a beast. He was a goal scoring machine, really, and then he just fizzled out, just like Southampton did. Mind, Southampton were very, very poor for the remaining few months of the season. He probably knew his future wasn't going to lie there. I think a loan option's sensible. Get him in on loan with an option to buy if he hits a certain target, maybe, because I'm with Lee where I wouldn't go and splash £30 million on Broja, because he's had a good 6 months. I mean, that's a bit mad, but like you've said, if he could learn under Wilson, start performing well, but Chelsea are willing to let him go on loan, but are they going to let him come to us where he's not going to start? I don't think he's going to take Wilson's number 9, is he? He's not going to be starting ahead of Callum Wilson, so are Chelsea going to agree to let Broja go when he's going to get 20 minutes here and half an hour there and maybe a start this week and a start in the Cup? They're going to want him to go out to a team where he's going to play week in, week out, and if West Ham are willing to put up 30 million up front for him, then maybe he'll go there, but I wouldn't be against the move. I think he's definitely got bundles of potential.
I think Johnny's put in the difference with Hugo Ekitike, if I said it right.
You have. You didn't do it like Sam did on Sky.
Yeah, I didn't. I like how he got that in, but I think he gives you a bit more options because he can play out wide as well. Whereas Broja's just I don't want to say you brute up top, but he is effectively, isn't he? Whereas Ekitike can play on left or right and through the middle, so he'll get more game time.
What I would like to see though is Broja on loan and then the money to be spent on Diaby. That would be the ideal scenario. Because
how much is he worth, though, Matty? Because obviously Bayer Leverkusen are saying 60 million, pretty much. Mm-hmm. He's not worth that, surely, is he?
I think he's worth about 50, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a France international. He's ripping it up. You look at these 14 goals and what was it? 17 goals, 14 assists, something crazy like that in the Bundesliga last year. He goes to the World Cup in November, December. Has a good World Cup. He's worth over 100 million. You get him in now and he's worth 50, 60. He's a huge talent. He's going to be one of the best players in the world in 3-4 years' time. It's a game changer if we get him. Be a game changer.
Exactly. That's a nice little plug. But it is a very, very good point. Is it a gamble worth taking? Because, like Matty says,
yes, it is.
The stats are there, aren't they?
100%. I'm a big fan of him. Play on the right-hand side, play on the left. You can swap it with Maxi as well. More competition, because I've said this numerous times. I'm sick of saying it. Murphy and Almiron off the bench just aren't good enough. They're not game changers. See what I've done there?
Nice.
Do you notice I'm sick of these two with your puns here? Just finally, just because I've asked this to a couple of guests in the last few weeks, as we record, it's early July. Where will Newcastle finish in the season next year? I just want to see where we are now, where we are at Christmas, and where we are at the end of the season.
I would say on the current squad, I would say 9th. If we sign Diaby or we sign a striker or we sign a couple of players in that field, in that bracket, I think we can finish 7th.
What about you, Lee?
I'm the same, top 10, but I think comfortable top 10 this time, where we're not being dragged into the bottom half of the table, so I think comfortable top 10.
Brilliant. Get your comments in. Where do you think Newcastle will finish? Who would you like to see? Anthony Gordon, Diaby, Broja, Ekitike? All of them? None of them? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you all very soon.